Welcome to DCR Rails, and today what I want to talk about is planning again some more. I'm trying to figure out where I need to cut to build elevations and such on the layout. And it's one thing looking at the blueprint and seeing what you've got. It's another thing to be able to lay it out. So what I thought I'd do is I've gone through and I've got paper cutouts of switches or turnouts. I've got track down. I've got cardboard and stuff and styrofoam to represent track. I've got elevation gains and that for grades, and kind of a 3D picture of what this could look like, and trying to figure where tracks would fit, spacing, and all of that before I start cutting the lumber and building things and such. So this is taking the blueprint from the paper, taking my plan from the paper and laying it out so I can see what we've got. So let me give you a quick overview of my track plan. First of all, this layout is going to live in the garage, and it's on 10-foot by 6-foot framework, and it was built such because underneath it I've got mattresses and a little bit of storage for a few things. So it's also on casters, so this thing can roll out and roll back in. And I've got stuff kind of tucked up next to it. There's cardboard I'm cutting out, and that, the grill, which is all important for the weekends to barbecue. And then my grilling chair. So it has to have a spot in the garage as well. So I'll just start off with, I've got an outer oval, and I've got an oval that's set up to work. And I'm thinking right in here, I'll build a control board to put the power supplies and the toggles and stuff for the blocks, because this is going to be DC. And so the track does go all the way around, and I have managed to get the track work to go around the layout. So I can run a train around the outside of this thing, but not going to do that just yet, because I want to get the insulation board, which I have. Let me turn slowly so I don't give everybody whiplash. I've got 2 of these, and that's 8x4, and the foam board is going to go down over top of the plywood, because the wood will expand and contract, and I'm out in the garage, so the foam board will act as insulation between the moving wood and the track. Plus I can dig underneath it and put culverts and pipes and water drainage and that as well. So it's not just a flat board I'm resting on. I'll be able to do some things under it as well. So the plan is the train can be on this outer loop, and it can run circles around the board as we see here. And then to come into the yard, there's a turnout right here, and then I've got the curve figured out, about a 22.5-inch radius to come around. And then this is my arrival and departure track. We'll go right here. And so then the train pulls up and stops, and there it is on the track. And then the engine can cut off and go up the ladder and park up there, and then the switch can come down the ladder and hook up to the cars, and then put them on the various tracks over here, classification tracks. And then we can build another train to go out, and then we line it all up, and then the train's here with all of the cars, and it can then go through a couple of turnouts and back onto the main line, if you will, and back around the layout. and then take and come through the arrival departure track again and slide through here, and this time follow the track around, and then there's a couple of more turnouts and back into here. And this area will be, I'm thinking of putting in a meat packaging plant. So the cattle cars can be brought in here and drop the cows off, or refrigerated cars can come in and pick up the meat to go out. And so I also have planned out here, I've got another turnout, so it goes to the processing plant. And then on this turnout here, I'm thinking of building corrals and that to put cows, so the cows can get picked up here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So then the track plan goes around behind here, and then there's a Y. Let's see if I can come around here and show you the Y. There'll be a Y that goes in right here, and the train would follow this curve around, and this cardboard represents the elevation change, and it comes up and around. And then there's a set of switches to go off this way for a planned coal mine. And then this switch here comes along here for the coal dump station. And then if you follow the turnout straight through, it still continues on its rise around. It crosses over the Y, and then the styrofoam represents the descent coming down grade, and the grade will come all the way around to this turnout here, which will then hook up to the ladder. Or you take the left-hand turn and you can come through here. There's the reversing loop hook up there, or we come past the train station, and over here's a freight yard. So what I envision happening is the train would pull out of here, get on the main line, follow the main line all the way around, come back on the arrival departure track, pass through, swing up here, catch that turnout back into here, and deal with the meat packaging plant. Then we go around, under, around, and up, all the way around and down, and make another loop through here. And then we could stop in and switch out the warehouse that's right here, and then follow it back around. And this time on the up, it could stop and go in to the coal mine, come back out and around and back down and around. And this time when it came back by the reversing loop, it would take the loop and come back through this way. And then that would represent doing a turnaround on the thing. But there is a switch there for the industry back in here. It could switch out, then back around, and now we're going up. And then there's a switch at the top of that rise there, and then that board represents the track going into that industry. And then you can come on around here, back over these bridges, down and around. And this time you can stop and back into and take care of the cattle, and then take this turnout and come around, and then this arrives at the arrival departure track. The engine can take off, do a run around here, and go up there and park. The switch can come out and disassemble the train, reassemble it, and then the train could go back out this way and around to areas off the layout. So that's the overview of the track plan. And so I'm really excited to get to this point. The next thing I'm going to do is take measurements on where things need to be cut out here, and cut this section in the middle out and raise it about 4 inches. And then when I cut that out, as you can see, the boards aren't laying quite where they need to be, so I need to build some other runners across this to build that. And come down here, and same thing over here. We'll have to reinforce that over there. And once that's all done, then I can put the foam down and then reapply the tracks, paint the foam, put the tracks down, and get started on building. I think the planning phase of this is about over with, and we can begin construction. So my idea on all of this is I'd like to build a nice layout on a tabletop. Most of the layouts and things that I see that are really serious, they've got their layouts around the walls. And that's great. I'd like to do the same thing, but things are such here and where I'm at that that isn't an option for me at this point in time. So I want to make a really nice layout on a tabletop. And so I invite you to join me on the journey as I work through this thing and figure out how to do this. I'm just a regular Joe. I've loved trains all my life. I've watched them. I had, in fact, most of the equipment that I have here, I got as a kid, as a teenager, and then it all got put in boxes. It's been in boxes for about 40 years, so it's coming out now. And I'll build a layout on the tabletop because a lot of people start out with an 8x4 board or something similar to this. So I thought, let's do this together, build a tabletop layout, and put together the skills and such, so maybe later on the next layout will be on the shelves around the garage and that. But with the limited space I have, I've got it mobile, it can move around, and I'm going to do the best I can to build a good layout on this tabletop here and watch the trains go. And the advantage I think with the tabletop is with around the walls, you have the distances between your yards. Here, as I was talking about earlier, I can run the train around one time to go to here, another time gets me to this spot, another time around gets me to this spot. So that gives me distances and time even though it's going round and round. The other nice thing, if I want a rail fan, I can just build two trains, put one on the inner loop and one on the outer loop, and just watch them run. So that's what the grandkids like. They like to watch them run. But I want some operational things and that, so I've got different industries on different sites around here to be able to do that. So join me, let's build a tabletop layout together. And if you like what you see, hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe, that won't hurt my feelings either. So until next time, just keep on chugging along, and we'll see you later.